Hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay in the comments so I know you were here. So I'm Lynn Huber, and today I want to talk about how to gain laser focus in a world full of distractions. You know, our ability to focus has been reduced dramatically over the last, 10 years or so. I mean, we've never had so many distractions to deal with between our cell phones, we're getting notified every 2 seconds between our cell phones, our computers, our email. It's just like, ooh, everything's coming to us from all areas, right? And, as disheartening as it sounds, many of the distractions that we face were engineered to be as distracting as possible. So it's kind of like they want, the advertising and all of that, the people that are trying to distract you, the people that are advertising, the whole idea is to get you to stop and look at them because we have so many distractions every single day that our brains have quickly become almost either addicted to them or we just don't even notice them anymore. I mean, and so if you have people who are running advertisements and stuff, they want to do something that's going to stop you in your tracks, and then you'll like look at their ad, right? And so, but then again, I mean, our brains have quickly become addicted to those distractions too. It's like every time your phone dings, you have to look at it, right? Every time you get a notification on your phone, you're like picking it up. I mean, I see people walking down the street. I see people crossing the street looking at their phone. I see people driving looking at their phone. And that makes me really angry because I feel like I'm on the road with you and I don't want to die. So put your phone down, but that's just the way it is these days. And so learning how to seriously focus is a vital skill that if you want to be productive and you want to be really successful, being able to focus is going to be huge for you. So I'm going to be really honest here, you guys. Focusing on tasks and stuff like that is not a problem for me. I think really, I think I'm ADHD. I mean, I don't know. I've never been diagnosed. My grandson is ADHD, and over the years, he's like 24 now. But over the years, I've learned a lot about it, and I have a lot of the same traits. And things like I get hyper focused on things, and I'm working on the computer, and people could be all around me talking to me, and I don't even know it. I mean that kind of a thing. But even so, I still get distracted at times, and I'm sure you do too. So let's talk about some strategies to help you overcome that, okay? So single tasking is always better than multitasking. Don't fool yourself because you're going to get more done and you're going to feel more relaxed if you focus on a single task at a time. Just get it done and then move to the next task. It's not easy for your brain to switch back and forth between different things. What's really happening is you're still single tasking. It's just you're doing this, your brain is focused on that, and then you stop focusing on that and you start focusing on this. And then you stop focusing on this, and then you go back to this. And now you have to figure out where you were again. I mean, it's just a minute second, but even so, it's harder on your brain, and you really don't accomplish more by multitasking. So set your priorities, go through your tasks one at a time and complete them in order, and try not to do 2 or 3 things at once. It just doesn't work. Okay. So number 2, do deep focus activities at a time that's best for you. So for most people, the ability to focus deeply is greatest in the morning, and then as the day goes through, their ability to focus is not as great, but that's not necessarily true for everybody. A few people, I'm one of them, do better at night. The truth is, it's kind of whether you're a day person a morning person or a night person. But for me, sometimes I am better able to focus at night after my day's done, and then I can relax and put that focus into what I'm doing. So schedule your more demanding and more tasks that's going to take more brain power during the time when your ability to focus is greatest. And then save the simpler items and the easier things to do for other times in the day when maybe your focus isn't as strong. I do. I mean, in the morning, I have like a set routine, and I have all these things that I do before I even get to my computer or my phone. And so it's funny. People will be like, I texted you. Did you ever get out of bed? And it's like, well, no, I've been up for 2 hours, but I don't look at my phone until I'm done with what it is I'm doing that day. What my routine, and my routine includes this Facebook Live. So, when I'm doing this Facebook Live, I haven't looked at Facebook. I haven't looked at my phone yet. So it's all part of it, right? But after I get done with that, then I'm pretty well more able to focus I think the afternoons maybe aren't as high for me for focus, but then at night again, like after 10 o'clock at night, man, boom, my brain is right there. So figure out what's good, what works for you, and focus and schedule your time so that you're focusing during those times. That's more effective, right? Okay, so practice focusing. So you can't be good at something you don't practice. So it's harder to focus deeply than you think. So set a timer for 15 minutes. And during that 15 minutes, keep your attention entirely on performing the task that you're at hand, whatever you have going on right now. Now, sorry. So pay attention and notice any stray thoughts, how they interfere, how they come into your mind while you're trying to focus. And notice how strong the urge is to maybe check your email or your text messages or your social media. You'd be surprised, because I think that you're going to find, well, and not everybody's different, but I think you're going to find that maybe you are getting the urge to be distracted more than you realize. So just doing that just helps you get an idea of where you're at. And then over time, if you do this over time, you're going to be able to focus for longer periods of time before you need a break. So it's just really helpful, 15 minutes, like set a timer for 15 minutes and focus on your task for that time. And if you can go longer, great, but over time you want to increase that. Okay, so number 4, remove distractions. So make your life easier for yourself by removing all those distractions. Put your phone away, turn off the TV, block any websites that you find compelling. If you're, on the computer, all of your browser tabs, like close them. I actually have a friend, Rick, that has 30 browser tabs open. And I mean, at times I do too, but you don't need it, right? So close down any tabs that you're not using so that you're not getting notifications constantly, right? And remove any distracting sounds. Turn off the radio. Get those distractions out of the way so that they're not going to be affecting you, right? And then number 5, learn to be comfortable with being bored. When you're focused and working, for some people it can be boring, Most of us choose to distract ourselves because we're bored. So the better you can handle that boredom, the easier it is to avoid engaging in those distractions. So if you're bored focusing on a spreadsheet, see, that's not me. Fortunately, I guess that's not me, because I'm hyper focused on that spreadsheet. But I mean, there are times when maybe I'm writing something that I really didn't want to write. That's usually where it comes in. If it's something I didn't really want to do, but I have to do that, maybe I might get distracted. And that's really probably could be from boredom, right? From wanting to go do something different, but you need to do this. So when you have the urge to distract yourself like that, force yourself to wait 15 minutes longer. Just say, I can do 15 more minutes. And then take a break if you have to. And after you've done that for a few times, then maybe bump it up to 20 minutes and then 30 minutes and keep building on that. Okay, so then number 6, plan time for your most common distractions. So you don't have to avoid all your distractions. Nobody's saying that you can't get on Facebook or you can't get on your text or your email, or you can't just surf on Facebook or surf the web or YouTube or whatever it is you want to do. You don't have to avoid them 100% of the time. Just schedule time in your day to do those things so that you can do those things after you've completed what it is you have to have done that day. And you'll be surprised at how much you're accomplishing, how much more you will accomplish by doing that. And you'll still get to do the things you like to do. So put a reasonable time limit on how long you'll spend on those things, though. And then number 7, get enough sleep. Sleep is really important for focus and energy. Your brain needs at least 7 hours sleep to be at its best. And so have consistent times for going to bed and waking up. And here's a tip I found. Try sleeping for 7 hours each night and then rate your ability to focus. So, kind of pay attention to what's happening. Like how easy is it for you to focus? And then the next week, try 7.5 hours and see if you see an improvement. You might or you might not, because it doesn't mean you don't need 7.5 hours. Some people do and some people don't. And so if you see an improvement, though, with 7.5 hours, try 8 hours and see if that increases. And if you're finding dramatic increases in your focus, you might even want to try 8.5 hours. Keep going until you find the right amount of sleep for you. And it might just be 7 hours. So, nobody says you have to, it's not like you have to push it from 7 to 7.5 to 8. If 7 hours is good and you're able to focus, totally good. And then number 8, eat healthy foods. So your body and your brain function better when you eat healthy, right? Your focus improves with a healthy diet. Start by eliminating everything you know isn't good for you. And you can just do them one at a time. You don't have to totally change your diet overnight. Just start eliminating one thing at a time that you know isn't good for you. And over time, you're going to be more healthy and you're going to be able to focus better. And then, so, there's distractions everywhere. Life is a never-ending series of distractions, right? So the most successful people are able to focus in spite of their distractions. It takes practice to focus intently in the face of other things that are looking for your attention. So incorporate these tips into your daily schedule, and you'll see your ability to focus grow. So now I want to hear from you. What tips do you have? What do you do when you're having a hard time focusing? What helps you to be able to focus better? Get below and tell me about it. I would love to hear it. Please, in the comments, what kind of tips you have to maintain that laser focus when you need it. Anyway, that's what I have today. Thank you for being here with me today. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.